All right, so let me talk about how I got royally shafted, ripped off in the most awful way. I was debating whether I should name this person, but I probably should, just because to A, show credibility that this is a real person, and then this is a real person that took advantage of me. I'm not making this up. And two, if anybody knows her or possibly wanted to work with her, or she's having your properties managed by her, just stay away. You've been warned. This person's name is LMI. She's based out of LA, although she's managing properties in Florida and all sorts of places. She's got a few, like 5 or 6 houses of her own, but she's mostly an Airbnb manager. She would sign a contract with somebody, take over their property, and put it on Airbnb and kind of split the profit, or I don't know what type of formula she uses, but that's what she would do. She's also a real estate agent. That's how I know her. We did one try. She helped me buy one house in Inglewood, which the transaction went okay. There were some hiccups, but everything seemed okay. So after that, we stayed in touch, just talking about real estate every now and again. I had a tenant who was this is my personal mistake. I made a mistake about on screening a tenant, and they left the place in a rough. I had to ask them to move out. They left the place like the house in a rough condition. But the house was still standing. It wasn't, the house was still standing. I'll put it that way. It just needed some paint. It just needed some like TLC type of thing just to get it back onto the. I wouldn't get the top of the rental market. Wouldn't get like at market rate because the property was a little bit dated, but I would get something okay. And I was willing to take a $200-300 off the top of the price because it just, as long as it was painted and I was living in a different state, so that's the best that I could hope for. And because I knew her and I've been to her own property, her houses are really, really nice. She has $1 million houses in Los Angeles that she has on Airbnb. And when I went there, their houses were beautiful. Granted, she probably didn't remodel a lot of them, but the detail, in their houses, I've been to her kitchen, bedrooms, everything in her house looked really nice. If you go to her portfolio of the properties she manages, well, they're really beautiful $1 million vacation houses, really amazing photos. You could take a look at. Look at their photos. Really nice. Like, oh wow, I would book this place, and whoever's managing this place knows what they're doing and knows about the quality that renters expect, or I would expect, or she has a certain standard. So it's not like she was some slumlord or something like that, and I asked her to remodel or anything. So basically, how the story unfolds is, I had a tenant who was roughing the place, and I was just kind of complaining to her what had happened, and she offered her services. She said, "Hey, you're in luck. I found there was some construction going on, and I found this guy he was being treated horribly, so I hired him on my team, and now he just kind of like does handyman stuff for my Airbnbs. And I'm so lucky to have this guy because he's so talented. He can do everything: painting, plumbing, electrical. He just knows his stuff. And for some reason, I got a great deal. I'm paying him a couple $100 a day or something like that, and I get the most wonderful master of all time." That's how she told me, this guy. Knowing what I know now, alarm bells should be just ringing off the hook. Alarm bells should be falling down from the ceiling. Red flags. But yeah, I wish I would, I wish somebody would have made this video. I wish I would have watched something like that, but no. So I thought I was in luck. I thought I was lucky. I made a very modest list of the things that I think should, I had a modest budget, and I made a modest list of things that should be remodeled. Basic stuff like painting the house, just mostly painting. Just painting the house, painting the inside, painting the outside, to replace a couple exterior doors, but nothing, nothing crazy. Well, as it turns out, this guy, he started working Oh, and before moving on, I'll say this. Well, our agreement was she told me that she was paying this guy 200 bucks a day, and a fee for her management is like $100 or 150, or I forgot the exact numbers, but basically she was charging me $350 a day. So some for this guy, and some because that's her employee to manage him or to whatnot. I think, okay, whatever, that's fine. It sounds like a good price, especially if he can get everything done and like get my modest list of things done in like 2 weeks. All right, so time's going by, and he starts doing stuff. But then, for whatever reason, because he was so good or something, he just starts suggesting things. Hey, how about I move this door over here, and we put a wall here? Or how about we redo this floor? Or how about he was just starting, like, I'm going to put these shelves here, or this and that. At first I was taken aback, like, why are you why would you suggesting more stuff? Like, usually, no matter how good you are, you see a list of stuff you need to do, well, you have a certain price, well, I'm just gonna knock it out. Like, I'm not gonna try to give more work to myself for the same amount of money. That was a huge red flag. Well, I ignored it, and I guess I was greedy. I thought, like, oh, hey, if you're offering to do more stuff and you make more beautiful for the renters that can rent this place out for more, well, hey, I'm in luck, like, told him, like, hey, why not? Let's do it. He kept adding things to what he wanted to do, and then he became really ambitious. It's like, hey, let's extend, like, this bathroom is too small. Let's move this wall and extend this bathroom. Let's do this. Let's do that. For the most part, I was telling him, you know what? I trust you and Ella, and maybe we can extend the timeline because it's a lot more work now. But we can extend the timeline a few more weeks. But I should have like a little bit of more funds to cover it, because, hey, this is worth it. Like, when else am I gonna get to use such an amazing contractor for this cheap? Because if I wanted to hire another contractor to do all this type of work, it would have been, could have been 100,000 plus. Like, hey man, maybe it can, for 20, 30K for this guy to do all this stuff and make my place amazing. Why not? I'd be foolish not taking advantage of the opportunity. And also too, I had an account with Home Depot, so he would just drive to Home Depot down the street and just use my account to pay for the materials. So we're getting into the remodeling. He's doing stuff, and things are not. He started in the beginning. He was sending photos of like the house being painted, like repainted from orange to white. It looked pretty good. Like he started off good. Started off solid. Everything's looking good. Some things I think would start taking Oh, and another thing, he was doing a lot of demo because he convinced me to extend the bathroom one way and to shorten a room, extend the bathroom. So a lot of things, well, how can you judge somebody? Somebody's it's messy because this guy's doing demo, right? But then once the tiling started happening, something was amiss. Some things started, like red flags, even bigger red flags start popping up. One of which I'm starting to learn that this guy, he doesn't have his own place. He asked to actually live in the house, which I was like, hey, you're doing so much work, it's fine, you can move in, because what's the point of you driving back and forth? I mean, his SUV or his truck was messed up or beat up or is having mechanical problems. Well, whatever, just move in, That way you can just work, spend more hours working instead of commuting. And then Ella started telling me, well, this guy, he has some money problems or has issues with some girl this girl he's been fighting with or whatever. As soon as he gets any kind of money, he just spends on this girl or gives this money to the girl, which now that's probably I don't know if the girl is methamphetamine, but whatever. Let's just leave it at that. So basically, she's giving him. She's not giving him all the money. She's actually withholding money because this guy's truck is falling apart, and I was like, it won't get into gear, so now he can't go to Home Depot as well as he was able to before. And then later on, when I get to the property later on, I find out that yeah, she's not paying him. So in order to get money, he's actually offering his services to my neighbors. People do that. Yeah, yeah. I've heard this is not the first time I heard that, but yeah, he was trying to pick up side jobs from the neighbors. Anyway, this is skipping ahead of time, but he's doing stuff, and then he started like when he started tiling, and I had like just white subway tiles, the most simple ones you can do. He started doing tiling, and they turned out to be crooked. So he wants to home, but he don't worry, he knows what he's doing. He's just gonna go to Home Depot and just get more tiles. And he starts tiling over the. So basically, instead of demolishing the actual bathroom completely and starting from scratch, some bathroom, like there's two bathrooms in the property. One bathroom already had tiles, so he's tiling on top of the tiles. Did a crooked job, and then going in with a third layer tiling. They're starting sending me photos, and things look rough. Even from the photos over that I'm viewing over the phone, they look rough. Like they asked them to put a new vanity and put a light, but the light was like 8 inches off center. Now, how hard is it to actually have like a measuring tape and put the light straight down the middle? I mean, come on. Like you and now I really kind of realize why he didn't do that, because later on there's like a 2x4 behind the wall, so he just put it off to the side, you know. And then I asked him to replace the front door. Well, I'm getting news from Ella that he replaced the front door and everything was perfect, but now my house has sunken or something, or the foundation has moved. Now the front door won't close, but don't worry, he's on it. And I'm getting just horrible excuses because I'm spending this money, right? And I need to get this place rented out because I'm just kind of burning money. I'm not collecting rent, and I'm burning money on this remodel. So every deadline is missed. It's always 2 more weeks, 1 more week, and it's just becoming more and more ridiculous. I don't know if she's closing a blind eye, or because she's coming over there. I mean, she was pregnant during the time. So she was kind of just telling me like, hey, you just talk to this guy, John. That was the contractor's name. Just talk to John directly. And then later on, Ella appeared on the scene. Well, she's coming by, and she said, oh yeah, it's about ready. It's all about ready. But every single deadline that they promised me is not hit. The job keeps dragging on more and more and more. I'm running out of money. This guy is going to to Home Depot every day or every other day, blowing a bunch of cash on new materials. And I'm seeing pictures of I sent some friends over there just to check it out, and people saying, oh, it's bad. It's comically bad. It's just so awful. So at this point in time, I didn't have any more money to keep throwing at the job, or to hire somebody to demo that and just start over and with the materials and this and that. So I did the only thing that I thought what I could have done is basically, like I mentioned in the video before, I know how to do electrical and plumbing and tiles and stuff like that. Basically, I had to load up my truck, drive all the way from Ohio to LA to completely demolish and redo everything that they did. I'll show you guys the photos, and I'll look at these photos on my computer just to go over, because this is what this guy did is so laughably bad, and the shameless person that Ella is, and I consider her a friend, an acquaintance. You would think that she could have pulled the plug much sooner. If you see somebody that John was doing kind of, she had to have known, or she had to have seen that, hey, I hired him to do some basic stuff, to do some painting, this and that. Okay, well, he started getting to other stuff. Well, she should have seen that. And she could have pulled the plug much sooner. Say, hey, John is not, he's not cutting it. He's not good, or whatever. He just can't do it. I'm just gonna like cut your losses, Tim, and we're just gonna stop the project, and I'm gonna hire like another handyman just to kind of just to finish up the small little list, or just just to do something, right? Or maybe if she had to take a if the type of business person, if she had to take a loss, that's what I would have done, man. I would have done it myself, or I had to take a loss, I would have took a loss. You got to make this right. You can't just take money from your friend, promise one thing, and just completely leave their house in shambles. Um, she was blaming me that I paid her most of what I owed her, but at a certain time I stopped paying and I just cut off my account at Home Depot. It just told the guy like, hey, stop buying materials. I gotta come to LA, just look at everything, just assess what the situation is, how bad everything is. And when I got there, it was wow. It was way worse than the photos. That's another lesson, the remodeling, or that the contractor is going to show you when you're doing this remote stuff. It's always double or triple worse. If you see any kind of imperfections over the photos that they sent you, it's way worse, way worse. Trust me. Oh, and coincidentally, before I forget, so in preparation for this video, I Googled Ella just to see what was on her Facebook page or on her website, and I know that recently there has been a few hurricanes around the Florida area. She manages properties in that area. Well, a lot of Facebook comments were saying that, hey, it was an evacuation zone. It was an emergency. They couldn't come down to Florida because there's a hurricane. She was not issuing refunds. People were just so pissed off, just all leaving her negative comments all over the place. And now on our Facebook, somebody posted a link, and I'll post down in the description. I'll post all of our stuff down in the description. Basically, there was like some California wildfire next to an evacuation zone. Some bachelorette thing happened. Basically, she refused to give him a refund, and legitimately, her company is on like some local news saying what a terrible host she is for not issuing a refund on one of her Airbnb rentals. I mean, this is just bad. Like, so let's get into the photos. These are two of them together. This guy putting on a mirror. Yeah. So why is he working with his shirt off? I have no idea. This is the type of tile work. Now, no, this is like a backsplash he did in the kitchen. Now, the kitchen did not have a backsplash, but it was okay. It was looking fine without it. He offered himself to do a backsplash, and I said, "Oh yeah, why not?" Well, look what it did. The switch, the cover of the switch is over the backsplash, and then he just did the electrical socket, GFI socket. That cover is cutting into the tiles. The tiles are crooked. There is no metal trim. It gets worse, guys. It gets worse. These how the switches looked, like caulking, paint, crooked. This is the beautiful trim for the doors. There's like a 1/2 inch gap. Now, of course, Ella saw that. She could have just stopped it right there and say, "Hey, you don't know how to cut trim. You're fired, or we're gonna stop this project." No, kept going. This is a great one. This has been a few years since this happened, and I think my mind has deleted or just blocked out like a lot of the details because I just want to move on with my life. But this is what happened. He painted the outside of the house with a sprayer, right? And any person with any sense would actually put some kind of like tape and paper to cover the windows. So you just peel that off and you don't have to do anything to the windows. No, he just sprayed the whole house and sprayed the windows. And then thinking that he was going to use a razor to clean up the windows. But these windows are old and they're not modern windows. They're like single pane windows. So he broke multiple windows. Ella, of course, when I mentioned that, she said the windows were already broken, which is like, what? How are they already broken? I mean, it doesn't defy logic. Why would he spray paint the house? He would have pointed out that, hey, when we're not painting the house, the window's broken or something, or here's the window pane. The outside is covered, but the middle where it's like the actual, where the middle, where it's not, you know, with the window cracked, it's not painted. So clearly he wasn't painting a broken window. Clearly it broke after he painted. He was supposed to install like a mini split. The mini split was not working. When I got there trying to turn it on, it wouldn't work. I had to get an actual HVAC guy out there. He said somebody dropped the unit and the Freon leaked out. There's a big dent on the side. This is a wall. Nice little texture here. So here we go, his masterpiece, the bathroom. Oh, what can you even say about this? Wow. Yeah, here we go. So you see where that wooden beam is? Basically that used to be the bathroom, but he like deleted a closet on the opposite side. So that he took out a closet for the bedroom, and then he tried to try to expand the shower with it. But the problem, one of the problems was he took out a closet and he changed the entrance of that room. But the issue is the floor is unleveled. So now here's the door, and the floor was unleveled, but it was gradually unleveled from the door. If you change the door location, you have like a step now. It's really unleveled. So to do it properly, you have to completely level the floor. He didn't do that. So the floor is maximum crooked. And he made this masterpiece shower. I had to demo all this and basically had to cut through 3 layers of tile, which is putting 3 layers of tile into a bag and, you know, taking it to the dumpster I have outside. I mean, that in itself is just torture. It's just so heavy. I mean, what a nightmare. And all the dust that gets kicked up from cutting through 3 layers of tile with, like, they're all glued and mastic on, man. Yeah, this is the type of tile work. Another, I mean, huge hint that if you suck at tiles, do not pick a black grout. I'll put it that way. Just pick a light grout so they're not as visible. This guy's horrible at tiles. He didn't have a tile cutter. Like, he had like one of those press things that just snaps a tile. He did not have an actual, you know, the thing with a wet blade that, like, it's $40. So this was already a shower that he tiled over. Try to update it, but look, he did not even include a drain. He did not include a drain. Basically, he just didn't grout us. Like, he just tiled over the drain. It just didn't grout that part, hoping that, you know, the water just seep. But when I tried taking it, you know, I stayed in the house, so I had to take a shower there, and just the water just pooled up there, like 3 or 4 inches. On top of that, just the horrible tile work. Some grout lines are like 2 inches. This is going back to the original, the master bedroom, if you can call it that. Master bathroom. Yeah, look, beautiful tile work. And he's like gluing 3rd layer of tile. And mind you, I had to pull the plug. He was still thinking about how he's going to fix it, and he was still on his way to Home Depot buying the 4th layer of tiles. I had to just pull the plug right there and just say, hey, you just stop. I got to go to Los Angeles and check it out myself. But in his mind, he thought he could fix it. It was going to be okay. And he was brainstorming, and oh my God, I got the idea. This is one of the walls. So here you have like 2 layers of tile, but for some reason, this is tiling 101. This is the most basic thing ever. If you're gonna tile a wall, you gotta make sure it's straight. If it's not straight, you gotta either, you know, do like thin set, skim thin set on it, or you gotta, you know, take off the drywall, do something to the 2x4, the beams, but you need a very flat wall to tile in. Well, this guy, he thought he had a flat wall. He started tiling in one place, started tiling in another place, and when you meet that there was like super, you know, it was the huge gap there. He's kind of like, he met there and then was just scratching his head like, what should I do? Looks like, I mean, looked like a madhouse. This guy is probably having a mental breakdown. What's this? I think this red stuff, I think is Red Guard. Why was he rubbing? This guy is probably the first person in history, in remodeling history, that painted Red Guard on top of tiles. Like, why would you do that? This is a beautiful niche he made. Lovely. The switch is inset, no problems there. Pretty cool, nice little feature. Yeah, so he thought he could just cover it up. All of his bad work, just cover it up, just start over again. No problem. I asked him to replace the ceiling fans. I guess didn't have enough IQ points to figure out to follow the instructions and to figure out how to put that remote, the sensor thing, inside. So he just left it outside. I mean, I had to come there and just take that down, put the sensor inside, and just put it back. That's Why would you leave that out there like that? Unless you just can't figure it out. A lot of the door, like every single door that he replaced would not close because I know how to replace doors, door frames. Well, the door frame was a little uneven, so you got to use shims and use a level to make sure everything's plumb before it starts screwing things in. He did not even know that. Just took a door frame and just screwed things into the frame. Of course, the door would not close. Ella knew that. She knew that not a single door. She came by multiple times checking on him. She just saw that not a single door that he replaced can close properly. And just said whatever, like, I have a no refund policy, no refunds. So we'll just have John keep tinkering with it. He can fix it. He can adjust it or whatever. She kept saying, yeah, he'll adjust it. He'll fix it. Here's a closet door that he installed. Doesn't even have a frame. He just using one screw, he screwed it into the drywall. This is this type of paint work. He I guess doesn't know how to use tape, that you can just, tape that hinge. This is how big of a gap that he left, that he thought he was going to fix somehow. One tile in the bathroom, which is another comical thing that you're going to notice right here is you see the hole where the overflow is supposed to, so like the spout, that spout where the water comes out, that's supposed to come from the wall. He put it on where the overflow, the tub overflow is. Yeah, where do I start with this? Just horrible tile work. Just the drain, it's almost like a joke. It's like a horror film. Nothing is correct here. Not a single thing. More beautiful tile work. His beautiful painting that I'm sure he's gonna quote unquote adjust, no problem. Oh yeah, he installed a electrical socket. Looks beautiful. Looks mint. I guess he didn't have a proper tile cutter, so I guess he was just, I don't know how many tiles he broke trying to like chip away this little L piece. Well, it broke into three, and he made do with what he could, just glued in there. It's fine. Light switch, got a nice little texture around it, circle texture around it. This is the reference photo. This is what I told him what I wanted to look like. He nailed it. Amazing. Again, this is what the type of photos he was sending me, trying to cover stuff up. Well, that's what they do, just trying to cover any awfulness. Just put like a trash bag over it, try to cover it up. Oh, okay, check this out. So I asked him to just put like these little just put this wood over the fence, just to give the fence a little bit of privacy. Well, he tried to do the same thing for the gate. So for the fence, it seems okay, but when he tried to do this for the gate, he did 2 layers of it and some like bolted on some metal stuff. Basically, he made that, not only did he cut this is like a sliding driveway gate, right? He cut this frame, so he had to cut the frame to actually, because all the wood the thick wood that he added, so now it was very like loose. It didn't even want to slide anymore. So I had to actually hire a contractor just to like weld me a new gate. But not only that, oh my God. So he put this wood, and the wood was so heavy. I'm a big guy. I bench press almost 315 pounds. I could not open. I mean, it was very, very difficult to open that gate. It's like opening like a medieval castle, like drawbridge or something. It takes like 3 or 4 men to do it. So yeah, beautiful work. Oh, here's a cherry on top. As you can see, there's PEX pipes sticking outside of the house. Yeah, he did that. He wanted to get water from one place and get it to the other part of the shower or the bathroom. He didn't want to take off the drywall and actually do it properly. So he just put the PEX outside. Nobody would notice because, hey, I'm a remote out of state investor, so that's how you do it. Didn't really quite spray the house all the way. Beautiful trim work. That's super crooked. Here, I guess, I don't know what it is. Yeah, so the door doesn't close. This trim, I don't know what they put. Has one set of trim. Then I guess he stapled another piece of trim, but that had such a big gap. I don't know. Did he put drywall mud or something? Try to blend it together. Whatever it wasn't working. The door wasn't closing. The remotes, the sensors outside of the ceiling fans. More beautiful tile work. Beautiful installation of a ceiling fan. More kitchen backsplash. Yeah, here's another shot. Beautiful trim with that nice drywall mud detail. That's how the shower ended up. One of the showers. He doesn't know what Schluter edges are at all. That's just like the window ledge near the shower. Up close detail of perfection and craftsmanship. Here we go. One more. There's no same more. Okay, another shot of the master bathroom. Here's there it is. Instead of the overflow, we have this the faucet or whatever coming down. When I started doing demo, trying to make this completely remodel this. This is the type of stuff I discovered inside the wall. You have shark bite, then you have this like sink toilet, or I think it's like a sink fixture that's just turned off. It's using what is that? Just like a flexible, like a shark bite and a flexible hose. That's meant for like a water heater. Yeah, beautiful. Here they has, I guess whatever. He just cut it and just yellow wire goes to the white wire, which is I'm sure it's 100% up to code. Just wrapping that up with electrical tape inside the wall. Great. This is the crooked bathroom light that he put on. No electrical box. No bothering with that. Just hey, why do you need an electrical box? You just screw that thing in, into the wall. No problem. Here's a thing that I gotta go over. Somebody actually hooked me up with this screenshot, which is I complained. There's some local Los Angeles Facebook groups. I try to warn people not to work with this lady because of all like the horrible botch job that she did to my property. And of course, she replies. She had denied anything. She just says I'm an idiot. I'm just a big dummy. She has no involvement with this whatsoever. All she did was introduce me to a handyman. Just introduce me to some guy, and whatever he did, that's between me and him. She just made a connection. However, somebody really hooked me up, and they have a screenshot of her advertising their services. So check this out, guys. It reads, "Hi everyone, a lot of you already know me. My name is Ella, owner and operator of Ella Homes." I'm sure she'll keep changing this name because of all the bad reviews and whatever bad business practices. You might be Ella Investments tomorrow. I specialize in STR business, Airbnb, running 17 properties at the moment, both in Cali and Florida. And that's another thing. That's why I'm also doing this video, because I'm sure she now she has even more properties. I'm sure in more states. So, oh man, I could just this type of person, even if she's not doing any kind of gut rehabs, or even if she fired that handyman John, would you trust that lady to like if she has cash coming in to evenly split it or to give you the type of money that she promised? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Because I do have so many STR listings in LA. I got a handyman on payroll. He has 25 years working for contractors, can build a house, obviously. This is obvious. You can just build a house. Keep him busy as I pay him a lot. I would love to offer him. If any of you look handyman work, even remodel. Her English is broken. This is not me speaking. Even remodel you house like kitchen, bathroom, plumbing, emergency flooring, install mini split, painting, stucco. We have a big truck, all necessary tools for construction job. Please inbox me, get my contact. So yeah, I try to warn people. Obviously, when I got to LA, I saw that what a horrible job these two have done. I try to message her saying, "Hey, we gotta work together. You gotta give me some of this money back, or you got to hire somebody. You got to make this right. As soon as I mentioned any kind of money that I need from her, she's completely just deleted me and blocked me. It can happen. If it could happen to me, I think it could happen to anybody. I think a lot of people have been ripped off this way. It's just a lot of people are just too embarrassed to mention it or go into it because makes it just makes people seem really silly. So I think a lot of people just take a huge L, lose a lot of money, and just move on with a lesson learned. And I don't want your real estate journey to be I want your real estate journey to be a lot smoother. Because if you don't lose, I personally probably lost between paying her materials. I probably lost like 30 grand. So how much further ahead you could be in your investment journey if you were to invest that money properly as a down payment for another unit, or actually a proper remodel. You can remodel maybe 2 rental units and boost your rents that you collect. So leave down in the comments section, what do you think? I mean, have you seen a worse remodel? And this is the type of things that can happen if you're not there. I mean, if I was there personally on a daily basis, that guy would have probably not lasted a week. I would have just said, okay, thank you, I'm paying you for the job, for the things that you started, you've done, but clearly you do not know how to install a door or do anything else for that matter, so I'm just going to cut my losses. But this is what happens when you do stuff out of state. All right, later, guys.